Does he consider recreational use of marijuana to be a competition to his racket, to gambling? And, of course, they talk about the Sheldon Adelson primary. Everybody was talking about how all these candidates were going by in the Republican Party because he spent between $90 and $100 million in the 2008 election. First backing Newt Gingrich, then backing Mitt Romney. So he didn't really, he's not very good at picking winners, even though he runs a casino. Okay, so, but still, it's a lot of money. He can make a lot of campaigns. And if people remember what happened in the real Sheldon primary, when Ron Paul backers were essentially blocked from going, they said basically they had a caucus in Clark County, Nevada. And that's pretty much the entire population of Nevada lives in Clark County. It's huge. It goes from Las Vegas all the way up to the Bundy Ranch and elsewhere. But most of the population is in that one county. And they had a caucus. And so he said, well, this is going to conflict with, it was on a Saturday night, I think. That was going to conflict with Jewish people going. So they were going to have a Jewish-only primary on Sunday, and they tried to keep people out. And, of course, there were people who had reasons besides the Sabbath that they couldn't attend that primary. It was absolutely outrageous, the games and the criminal games that they played in that primary. But, of course, now they're back in the open, and there's been a lot of talk about how Sheldon Adelson, the Koch brothers, are openly picking candidates, and the money that's at stake there is so important that these primaries, these little private hearings that they're having with the billionaires, are perhaps more important than winning some of these small primaries in some of the smaller states. And so we have to ask, is this an election or is it a selection? And as H.L. Mencken said, and we've repeated this many times, an election is an advanced auction of stolen goods. We can certainly see that with the politicians that are there. And, of course, the author who is coming out with this book showing the Clinton cash and how that has moved around is also working on an expose of Jeb Bush. It should be a target-rich environment, I imagine. Also in the news, we see that the economy apparently is not too good, especially if you're selling heavily processed, adulterated food. McDonald's is closing 700 stores. This is a story that went viral on Infowars.com from Kit Daniels. They say that the fast food giant quietly closed 350 stores in the first quarter. So that brings up about 1,000 stores in just the first quarter or so of this year. To put that in perspective, McDonald's has 35,000 stores worldwide, so that's about 3% of their stores they're closing in the first quarter and looking at now. And, of course, one of the reasons is an 11% decline in revenue, a 30% drop in profit for the first 3 months of the year. We're seeing a lot of big box retailers as well as these mega corporations are really cutting back. And, again, that points to the concerns that a lot of people have about the state of the economy. Even though we hear all of this rosy news out of the Obama administration, even though the stock market is in a massive bubble, we see that Amazon.com lost, and I don't have the article here, I think it was something like $57 million in the first quarter. We see that Target closed 300 some odd stores in Canada. And, of course, the bankers are talking about how they can try to stimulate the dead economy by going to negative interest rates. In other words, incentivizing you to go ahead and spend your money. Don't save anything. It's not enough of a disincentive to not pay you anything for the money that's in the bank. So now they're going to actually punish you for saving, heavily punish you. And as a part of that, and we talked about that with Paul Joseph Watson earlier this week, instituting techniques to abolish the use of cash. And, of course, the government is heavily into that. Now, we're going to talk about this Southern Poverty Law Center story and the hit piece they did on the Oath Keepers out in Oregon when Paul Joseph Watson joins us. I want to play a clip of what one of the people there at the Sugar Pine mine said what the real question is when he was talking to the Oath Keepers. Let's play that clip.
Well, recently there's been some discussion in the media as to whether we were right or wrong to bring in the Oath Keepers to help protect our constitutional rights and our right to due process. The real question here isn't whether we were right or wrong. The real question that needs to be asked and discussed is why we have to seek outside help to preserve our own rights in our own country from our own government.
That's the question. That's the question. And I can tell you what the answer to that is. The answer is that our Congress, long ago, long before these trade agreements, they abdicated their authority to these bureaucracies.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silverlungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silverlungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
When the day comes where the world changes forever, you can be ready at a moment's notice. With Survivalist Camps, the ultimate fully functional off-the-grid survival bug-out house that's completely mobile and ready to go. All the comforts of an RV, but custom built to outlast any other trailer. Learn more at survivalistcamps.com. Due to overwhelming response, limited inventory is available. Be ready with survivalistcamps.com. Survivalist Camps, providing your basic needs to survive.
CatieArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. Katie offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to CatieArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CatieArmor.com. Come and take it.
So the news breaks. Hillary Clinton's running for president. My buddy Mark says to me, hey, didn't Hillary support the Brady bill and the assault weapons ban? And I'm thinking, yeah, 1992 presidential campaign. Oh, my God, a gun grabber in the White House. So at guns80.com, they've come up with the Hillary Clinton special. They just call it the Hillary. You even get 2 30-round magazines for free, and it's only $474.95 for the whole kit. So get your AR-15 kit and tell Hillary, ha-ha, 8442-GUNS80. That's guns80.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, InfoWarsLife.com is offering some of the biggest specials we've ever had. 50% off the super high-quality colloidal silver Bullet. Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com is free of GMOs, gluten, additives, heavily concentrated in pure deionized water, electrically stabilized to improve potency, can store in your preparedness pack or medicine cabinet for years. Silver Bullet colloidal silver, 30 parts per million, now $14.95, down from $29.95. You cannot beat this deal. 50% off on Silver Bullet colloidal silver and free shipping. Now you know that's going to anger the control freaks. We've also launched the Alex Jones Challenge Pack, the 3 InfoWars Life products that help take me to the next level. Oxy Powder to flush out the upper and lower intestines, Survival Shield Nascent Iodine X2, and Super Mel Vitality fused together have given me and many others amazing results. Discover the groundbreaking, powerfully simple products at InfoWarsLife.com.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host. We're going to play a documentary film from No More News, and that is KNOW. No More News, exposing mainstream media's propaganda campaign to ridicule Alex Jones. We're going to play a little bit of that for you in the next segment. Before we get back to the news, I just wanted to remind you that we have a sale going on Silver Bullet at the InfoWars store that is 50% off the usual price. That's $15 savings per bottle. It's 30 parts per million colloidal silver. A very strong concentration of colloidal silver, and again, that is available at the biggest discount we've ever had at InfoWars. It's $15 off per bottle. That's 50% off per bottle right now. Well, going back to the news, as I point out, in the next hour, Paul Joseph Watson is going to be talking to us about the SPLC, as well as his story about PayPal now changing the user agreement, saying that they are asserting ownership, copyright ownership, over all intellectual property of its users. We're going to break that down. But we were talking in the last segment about this story, about the SPLC coming after the Oath Keepers, coming after the miners there. You heard that clip just before we went to break as to the question is, why would we need to be protected by Oath Keepers against our government? And of course, the answer is that just as our Congress has abdicated its authority on these trade agreements, turning it over to corporate lawyers, in the same way, they long ago turned over their legislative responsibility, abdicated that to these bureaucracies that they've created, allowing these bureaucrats to write the laws for Americans. Unelected, perpetual bureaucrats. That's one of the reasons why things don't change, regardless of whether we got Republicans or Democrats in power. It's because of these massive armies of bureaucracies creating their little empires where they write the law, they have their own enforcement mechanism, and they also have their own little courts, their own kangaroo courts. And that's why you need to have people, to your neighbors, to protect you. There's a lot of different ways that we can protect each other, too. We can start to get an awareness that we all have due process rights and what those rights are and the purpose and the responsibility and duty of juries. That was ultimately the major check, I believe, that we had against usurpation of power that was put in the Constitution, that is a long tradition in English and American common law, and that is trial by jury, and the understanding that jurors are there not just to judge the facts of the case, but to look at the law, to look at the way it's being applied, and to basically protect each other. Now, I want to go back to this situation in Oregon. There's a poem, Our Government Land, and this is also from the Oath Keepers video. I want to play a little bit of that for you, just a few seconds of that. Let's go ahead and play that.
My name is Steve Beck, and I'd just like to contribute a poem to this. It's called On Government Land. The government is taking away everything, only to make it their own. You can't even hold conversations on your own private telephone. They own the water, they own the air, they own everything, and they own everywhere. If they can't own it, they just steal it away, turn it into a park, and then they can say they own it. They own it with taxes, they own it with fees. No matter the cost, they do as they please. They think they own us. They treat us like cattle, they herd us like cattle and treat us like sheep. After the shearing, our fleece is to keep. Sooner or later, if we don't take a stand, we all shall be living on government land. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. They think that they own everything. They assert that they own everything. And there's really an element of corporate fascism involved in this because it is a partnership between government and big business. That's what we're going to see and increasingly seeing with these efforts by Monsanto to keep us from knowing what's in our food, to block any efforts to inform consumers, to allow them to have a choice, and of course with the vaccines, saying you're not going to be informed and we don't care whether or not you've got consent. Just shut up and take the shot. As I mentioned in the very first segment, there was a story up on LewRockwell.com. A person who wrote this said earlier in the year they went to a medical center. There was an outbreak of a superbug there. 7 people got infected. 2 people died. They were there with their daughter. They thought there would be some reporting of it, but no, they didn't hear anything about that. All you heard about was the measles outbreak, where nobody died, using that to push for mandatory vaccines. And so this author says, well, you know, I tried to imagine what their playbook looks like and came up with several points. I just wanted to throw these headlines out to you. Number 1, make it clear that parents who choose not to vaccinate their children are only getting their information from Jenny McCarthy, Jim Carrey, and other celebrities with absolutely no scientific credentials. And also, number 2, equate the views of the CDC, the medical journals, and pharmaceutical company spokespersons with science. Some people will tell you science is a method, it's not a conclusion, but don't listen to them. And you know what? If all of that doesn't work, just hold a gun to their heads, say shut up, and do it because I say so. I own you. We're going to talk about what's going on with cars. We're going to play a little bit of a video of a car show that was here just a week ago. One of the best car shows in the country. Stay with us. We're going to show you some clips of that. We'll be right back.
We're